Before Europeans arrived, America was home to millions, diverse indigenous nations with unique languages, beliefs, and ways of life. From the icy north to the warm south, these peoples built homes, raised families, and formed complex societies. Along the Mississippian culture built massive earthen mounds in cities like Cahokia, a bustling center larger than London at the time. In the southwest, the ancestral Puebloans carved cliff dwellings and built stone villages, mastering desert survival with irrigation and astronomy. In the northeast, powerful alliances like the Iroquois Confederacy united nations under a sophisticated political system, influencing future American ideas of government. These societies thrived for thousands of years, deeply connected to the land and each other. Their achievements in agriculture, architecture, and governance laid the foundation for the continent's story. The first chapter of America is not one of emptiness, but of vibrant civilizations. Their legacy endures in the land, in place names, and in the living cultures of native peoples today. As we begin the story of America, we must remember it started long before Columbus. The land was never empty. It was always a land of many peoples. Their stories are the roots of the nation. This is where America truly begins. In 1492, Christopher Columbus, seeking a route to Asia, landed in the Americas, sparking a wave of European exploration. Ships from Spain, France, the Netherlands, and England soon followed, searching for wealth and glory. But this new world was already home to thriving indigenous societies. The arrival of Europeans brought devastating diseases like smallpox, wiping out entire villages. New animals and technologies, such as horses and guns, transformed native life but also led to conflict. Europeans saw land as property to be owned, clashing with native beliefs of shared stewardship. Colonization took many forms: Spanish conquest, French fur trading, Dutch commerce, and English settlement. The Spanish sought gold and converts, conquering vast empires. The French built alliances and trading posts, often integrating with native communities. The Dutch established New Amsterdam, a hub of trade. The English, arriving later, established permanent colonies, often displacing native peoples. Some English settlers sought religious freedom, others chased profit through cash crops. These patterns set the stage for centuries of conflict and cultural exchange. By the 1600s, a string of English colonies lined the Atlantic coast, each with its own character. The collision of worlds had begun, forever shaping the continent. The English colonies developed into three regions: New England, the Middle Colonies, and the South. New England's rocky soil led to shipbuilding and trade. Puritan values shaped tight-knit communities and early democracy. The Middle Colonies, like New York and Pennsylvania, were diverse and tolerant, with fertile land and bustling cities. The South relied on plantations and cash crops, first using indentured servants, then enslaved Africans, a system that would haunt the nation. For years, Britain let the colonies govern themselves, but after the costly French and Indian War, new taxes angered colonists. Laws like the Stamp Act and Townshend Acts imposed taxes without colonial representation. No taxation without representation became the rallying cry. Tensions grew, setting the stage for revolution. The colonies, each unique, were united by a growing desire for self-government. The seeds of independence had been planted. The path to a new nation was underway. Change was coming to America. Colonial anger erupted into revolution. Events like the Boston Massacre and Tea Party showed the depth of conflict. In 1775, the first shots were fired at Lexington and Concord. The fight for independence had begun. Led by George Washington, colonists battled the world's mightiest empire for the right to self-rule. The Declaration of Independence, adopted in 1776, proclaimed that all men are created equal, with rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. After years of war and help from France, the Americans won independence in 1783. The first government, under the Articles of Confederation, proved too weak. In 1787, the Constitution established a stronger federal system with checks and balances. The Bill of Rights soon guaranteed freedoms like speech, religion, and fair trials. The Constitution became the blueprint for American democracy. The new nation was built on ideals, though not yet for all. The struggle to fulfill those promises would continue. The United States expanded west, driven by the belief in manifest destiny. This growth displaced Native Americans, often through force and broken treaties, most tragically, the Trail of Tears. As new states joined the Union, fierce debates erupted over slavery. The North industrialized and opposed slavery, the South depended on it for plantation agriculture. Compromises like the Missouri Compromise only delayed conflict. In 1860, Abraham Lincoln's election led Southern states to secede, fearing the end of slavery. The Civil War began in 1861, a brutal brother-against-brother conflict. Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation in 1863 made ending slavery a central goal. The Union's victory in 1865 preserved the nation and abolished slavery with the 13th Amendment. The war's legacy would shape America for generations. The nation was forever changed. After the Civil War, America entered the Gilded Age, an era of rapid industrial growth and invention. Railroads, factories, and new technologies like the telephone transformed daily life. Powerful tycoons built vast fortunes, while millions of immigrants arrived seeking opportunity. Cities swelled, but many newcomers faced poverty and discrimination. Reformers called progressives fought for safer workplaces, fairer government, and women's right to vote, achieved with the 19th Amendment in 1920. By the early 1900s, the U.S. was an economic powerhouse. America entered World War I in 1917, helping the Allies to victory. The Roaring Twenties brought prosperity, but the Great Depression soon followed. In 1941, the attack on Pearl Harbor drew the U.S. into World War II. America's industrial might and military helped defeat Nazi Germany and Japan. The war's end established the U.S. as a global superpower. America now led on the world stage. The nation faced new challenges and new responsibilities. After World War II, America prospered but faced new tensions. The Cold War with the Soviet Union. This rivalry sparked proxy wars, a nuclear arms race, and the race to the moon. At home, fear of communism led to the Red Scare. Meanwhile, the civil rights movement, led by figures like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., fought segregation and won landmark laws for equality. Other groups, women, Latinos, Native Americans, also demanded rights and justice. The late 20th and early 21st centuries saw a technological revolution. Computers, the internet, and mobile phones transformed life. America's economy shifted from manufacturing to information and services. The nation's story is one of triumphs and injustices, unity and division. From indigenous societies to today's diverse, connected nation, America's journey continues. Each generation shapes the story anew. The quest for a more perfect union endures. America's history is still being written. The future belongs to those who carry its ideals forward.